this guy still has a job. And you keep losing because of it. Like, what in the fuck? What is wrong with you? It's 10-8. 10-8 in the third quarter. 4th and 1. Your own 33. Your own 33. You're going to go for it and have your tight end get the belly fumbled? I know owners of sports teams that would have fired these people on the spot yesterday. Enough of this shit. You got to be out of your mind to watch this garbage. The Browns are garbage.
The Cleveland Browns are a dumpster fire. There's no other way to say it. And Tony Rizzo, he's had enough. After another embarrassing loss to the San Francisco 49ers, the voice of Cleveland sports radio unleashed absolute fury on the Kevin Stefanski regime. But this isn't just about another loss. This isn't just about special teams disasters or fourth down blunders. This is about a rookie quarterback being thrown into a system so broken, so fundamentally flawed, that even evaluating his potential feels impossible. Shedeur Sanders, the kid everyone's been waiting to see, the son of Deion, the swagger, the arm talent, the confidence, he finally got his second career start, and what happened? He was set up to fail from the jump. Let's be crystal clear about something. Shadur didn't play poorly. He posted a 93.6 QBR. He went 16 for 25. He didn't turn the ball over. His QBR was actually higher than Brock Purdy's 83.7. The kid read defenses, made throws, and showed composure in a hostile environment against one of the best defensive coordinators in football. But here's the problem. Here's why Rizzo is losing his mind on the airwaves. Nobody can actually tell if Shadur Sanders is the answer because the Cleveland Browns offense is so catastrophically bad that it makes every quarterback look mediocre at best.
You know, this is nothing personal against Kevin Stefanski. He's an outstanding young man. He really is. Nice fella. Nice young guy. He's not a head coach. He's not.
That's the brutal truth right there. No sugarcoating, no corporate speak, just raw, unfiltered reality from someone who's watched this train wreck for 6 years. Think about this for a second. Joe Flacco came to Cleveland last year and looked like a legitimate comeback player of the year candidate. Then he got to the playoffs and reality set in. Deshaun Watson, when healthy, looks like a shell of himself in this offense. Dorian Thompson-Robinson looked lost. PJ Walker, disaster. And now Shadur Sanders is the latest victim of Kevin Stefanski's offensive genius. The media loves to throw around the term quarterback whisperer when it comes to Stefanski. Two-time coach of the year, offensive mastermind, the guy who supposedly elevated Baker Mayfield. But let's pump the brakes on that narrative real quick. Baker Mayfield is thriving in Tampa Bay. He's playing the best football of his career under a different coaching staff. Meanwhile, in Cleveland, the offensive system is so stagnant, so predictable, so uninspired that it doesn't matter who's under center. The results are the same: mediocrity, stagnation, disappointment.
Shadur played okay, played all right, didn't turn the ball over. The offense sucks. The whole scheme sucks. The play calling sucks.
There it is. 5 brutal truths in 5 seconds. That's not hyperbole. That's not hot take radio. That's a man who's watched every snap, every play, every failed drive, and reached his breaking point. Rizzo's point is painfully simple but devastatingly accurate. How can you evaluate a rookie quarterback in this mess? How can you tell if Shadur has franchise quarterback potential when the offensive line is playing third-string tackles who have no business being on an NFL field? How can you assess his decision-making when the play calling is garbage? How can you judge his accuracy when the offensive scheme is from 2015?
How in the hell would you know? How in the hell could you evaluate a kid in this crap offense with this crap coaching staff?
The frustration is real. The anger is justified because this isn't just about one game. This is about a pattern, a cycle of incompetence that's been repeating itself for 6 years under Stefanski. Let's talk numbers because numbers don't lie. Kevin Stefanski is 6-23 in his last 23 games. Read that again. 6 wins, 23 losses. That's a .207 winning percentage. Pat Shurmur had a better record than that. Pat Shurmur, the guy who the Browns fans couldn't wait to run out of town, is legitimately laughing somewhere at this stat.
Washington lost last night, on a kick in overtime where you fight your ass off and and it goes back and forth. You lose. But just to watch this garbage week after week and nothing changes.
The Browns are guaranteed their 4th losing season in Stefanski's 6 years as head coach. 4 out of 6 years with losing records. But somehow, someway, the narrative is that everything's fine. The coaching staff is intact. The same mistakes keep happening. The illegal shifts, the special teams disasters, the conservative play calling, the 4th down decisions that make you want to throw your remote through the television. And through it all, Shadur Sanders is supposed to develop. He's supposed to show everyone he's the franchise guy. In this environment, with these coaches, with this offensive line, with receivers who can't get open, with a tight end from Bowling Green as the biggest weapon.
This team has no wide receivers. The offense, you got a tight end from Bowling Green, who's your biggest weapon. I mean, no offense, Reg.
The Shedeur Sanders experiment in Cleveland was doomed before it started. Not because of the kid's talent, not because of his work ethic or his football IQ, but because the Browns organization is fundamentally broken from the top down. Rizzo didn't hold back on your ownership either. The Haslams, the people who are supposed to be the stewards of this franchise, the ones who keep making excuses, the ones who keep leaking stories to national media about potential changes that never actually happen, the ones who let incompetence fester because they're too concerned about building a new stadium in Brook Park than fixing the product on the field.
Why are you loyal to these people? They're hired guns. They're employees, and they're fucking things up. And you just keep them around? I blame the Haslams. What are you doing? Make Stefanski fire him if he won't fire. By the way, get Stefanski the hell out of here. Why are you loyal to these people? They're hired guns. They're employees, and they're fucking things up. And you just keep them around? I blame the Haslams. What are you doing? Make Stefanski fire him if he won't fire. By the way, get Stefanski the hell out of here.
The ownership malpractice is staggering. The special teams coordinator, Bubba Ventrone, has cost the Browns multiple games. Not one, not two, multiple games. 5 touchdowns allowed on punts or kickoff returns in the last 2 seasons. A 99-yard kickoff return, a 74-yard punt return for a touchdown. Against the 49ers alone, there was a fumbled return, a kickoff fielded at the 5-yard line that went out of bounds, and another massive return that set up San Francisco deep in Browns territory. And what happens? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Ventrone still has a job. The mistakes keep piling up, the losses keep mounting, and everyone just shrugs their shoulders like this is acceptable.
Like, what in the fuck? What is wrong with you? You don't make any changes. Why? I have no idea. Why are you loyal to these people? They're hired guns. They're employees, and they're fucking things up.
It's not acceptable. It's organizational negligence, and Shadur Sanders is caught in the crossfire. Here's what makes this even more frustrating for Browns fans. Shadur actually showed flashes. When the play calling wasn't completely predictable, when he had time, when receivers got minimal separation, he made throws. The touchdown pass to Harold Fanning Jr. was a perfect example. He read the defense, recognized the coverage, and delivered a strike. That's the kind of play that makes you believe there's something there. But then you look at the rest of the offense. The offensive tackles getting abused on nearly every pass play, the lack of weapons, Jerry Jeudy, who's had a terrible year with drops, yelling at Shadur on the sideline like it's somehow the rookie's fault that the entire offensive system is broken. The running game that can't get going, the second half scoring that's been abysmal all season long. The Browns were outscored 152-82 in second halves this season. That's coaching. That's adjustments. That's halftime preparation. That's Kevin Stefanski's responsibility, and he's failing miserably at it. Kyle Shanahan made Stefanski look like a high school coach on Sunday. The coaching mismatch was embarrassing. Shanahan and defensive coordinator Saleh had the Browns figured out from the opening snap. They knew what was coming, they knew how to attack, they knew Cleveland's weaknesses, and they exploited them relentlessly.
To watch Kyle Shanahan versus Kevin Stefanski, oh my God.
Meanwhile, Stefanski calls a 4th and 1 from his own 33-yard line in the third quarter of a 10-8 game and decides to get cute. The result? A fumbled snap, a turnover, more points for San Francisco, more head-scratching decisions that make everyone wonder what in the world is going on in that building.
That 4th and 1 was just coaching malpractice, man. Oh my God. Your own 33-yard line, you get too goddamn cute.
The saddest part about all this, Shadur Sanders might actually be good. he might have legitimate franchise quarterback potential. But we'll never know. Not in Cleveland, not under this coaching staff, not in this system, not with this offensive line, not with these weapons. The kid deserves better. Browns fans deserve better. Myles Garrett deserves better. Myles Garrett is out there giving everything he has, playing at an all-pro level, and watching his prime years get wasted by organizational incompetence. Shadur Sanders came to Cleveland with hope, with potential, with the swagger of a kid who believed he could change the culture. But you can't change a culture that refuses to change itself. You can't develop as a quarterback when the coaches around you aren't developing. You can't succeed when the organization doesn't give you the tools to succeed. The clock is ticking on Kevin Stefanski. The clock is ticking on this coaching staff. The clock is ticking on the Haslams to do something, anything to fix this disaster. Because if they don't, Shadur Sanders will be just another name on the long list of quarterbacks who got chewed up and spit out by the Cleveland Browns machine. And that would be the biggest tragedy of them all.